Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, the award-winning gardening podcast as voted for by the Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and by my listeners. I hope that you have all clicked that subscribe button. If you're new to the podcast channel, please do click the subscribe button and then you get notified of all the new podcasts that get launched. And if you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, make sure you look for Gardening with Ben and follow me on all my social medias. So sit back, relax, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's gardening podcast with Ben. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben for a brand new episode. I know we keep having these delays, but we are back for another episode and hopefully there won't be a delay before the next episode. So sit back, relax and let's enjoy today's episode. So yeah, we have been absolutely busy these last few days at the allotment. As you know, I'm currently off for 21 days and yeah, the weather is fantastic as well. Obviously yesterday was Naked Gardening Day, and if you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, go and check out my pictures. That's if you want to. And you will be able to see my little picture for Naked Gardening Day. So yeah, go over and have a look, and it was pretty much a laugh and to enjoy myself being down there on the allotment and joining in with the fun day that everybody does for Naked Gardening Day. So yeah, and it was a warm day as well. It weren't cold, so that's a bonus. But yeah, we are back here for another episode. So what have we been getting up to at the allotment? Well, at the moment I've been really concentrating on getting the plot ready and in ship shape for getting everything ready and out in the garden. I'm contemplating, well I have been contemplating whether or not the frost will come now, because I've been looking at the temperatures and it looks like the warm weather is going to be here to stay for a while. So I'm thinking we might not get another frost. Fingers crossed we don't. So I took that jump and I've planted some of the plants outside that I've purchased. My marigolds, my petunias, some sunflowers. I've planted them all outside and hoping that Mr. Frost won't come and kill them off at night. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully we'll be fine. So yeah, we've been planting some stuff out. So before I plant any of my veg out, what I have to do is I have to build a pigeon cage. Yes, a cage to protect my crops from pigeons. And what I do, rather than net individual beds, I net the full length of my allotment. I've purchased a piece of netting years ago and it's still in good condition and it fits the full length of my plot. And what I do is I put some posts up around my plot and fasten chicken wire to the sides of it so that little birds can still get in, like your robins, your blue tits and stuff like that. They'll come in, eat the worms, eat the bugs and stuff, eat the slugs, but they won't let the pigeons in, and the netting goes over the top. So yeah, I obviously have to do it my head height, which is 6'5", but it means not having to keep taking the netting off to weed all the time. And sometimes when you put netting over the beds, the pigeons will jump up and down on it and they'll peck through it and stuff like that. But I've done this method now for going on 10 years and my crop is fantastic. The pigeons do not get them and no pigeons get into my beds, which works an absolute treat. This piece of netting cost me £80 and obviously the chicken wire was quite expensive, but I've had them for 10 years or so, and each year I just take down the netting at the end of the year and put it away and then fetch it back out again for the year after. And it's certainly paid its price, because being a gardener, you will know that you can put something out like a brassicas or broad beans or peas and stuff like that, and within the next day they've all been eaten by pigeons, and you've lost all your hard work, and sometimes you've got to start again and get them all sown fast. So it has saved me a lot of money in the long run, and like I said, I've not replaced it, and it's still going strong to this day. There's a couple of holes in it, but what I do, I just cable tie them up, and yeah, they're fine. So that is been the job today. My allotment neighbour, who's recently moved on to this allotment, he can acquire wood, and as you all know, I am an addict for wood on my allotment at the moment. Everything I'm doing is out of wood, and I've been getting I've got some really big posts. Usually I just use like thin little pieces of wood to fasten my netting and everything up, and they end up snapping or falling off or breaking and just not being able to take the weight of the netting. But now I've got some absolute massive posts, and I mean really thick wood, and they're fantastic. So we've painted them all, which has taken 2 days to do, because I've given them 2 coats, and obviously they're in forest green to match the rest of my allotment. I'm definitely not a fan of forest green paint after how much painting I've done this year. But yeah, they've all been painted, and now they've all been put in the ground. This job usually takes a few days to get it all done, so I've put all the posts in the ground around my plot. I'll show you live on Facebook tomorrow if you're following me. So we've put all them in. We've started putting the chicken wire up. We've done one side of it, which is a pain because I have to like do 2 levels of chicken wire and fasten it all together and put wires up and stuff like that. And then I've got out my netting and unravelled it all. Yes, I never put anything away straight, so it was all tangled up, which was a nightmare. And yeah, I've managed to untangle it all, and I've got it all up and ready really. It's just a case of tidying it all up and sorting it all out now, and making sure it's secure, that there's no gaps for the pigeons to sneak through, because they are pesky little buggers. They will sneak through if they can. So it's a case of getting all the netting up, and once we've secured the netting, which will probably take about 2 more days, 1 day or 2 days, we'll see how long we're actually at the allotment for. If I'm there for a full day tomorrow, I'll probably get it all done in a day. But once the netting is up, that means I am safe to put out any of my plants what are ready to go out. So I'll be looking at putting my runner beans out, I'll be putting my French beans out, I'll be putting my lettuce out, I may plant some courgettes, I may plant some pumpkins out, but we'll see what the weather's like. And I'm still keeping an eye on that temperature at the moment. Every night I check the temperatures to see what it's going to do, and at the moment we are fine to put stuff out. But they always say never cast a clout till May's out, so we've got to wait. We've got to keep looking to see what those temperatures are like. If we get a sudden blast of snow or frost at night, it will kill everything off if we've planted it out. So we've got to keep an eye on that and see if we can do that later on. But my main tasks for being off at the moment, I'm going to make sure that all this netting's done and the framework's done. All my beds are dug over, they're all built, all the paths are laid, all level, all looking shipshape, and get all the allotment weeded, make sure everything's potted up, all the seedlings, and make sure they're all ready for growing. Yeah, so that is my main challenge for being off at the moment, and fingers crossed I can do it. And every time I'm doing something, the job seems to get bigger and bigger. But we're getting there, we're certainly getting there, and I'm pleased with how it's all coming along. And now that the rain's been coming, the weeds have started to certainly pop up everywhere. All my flower beds, what were all nicely weeded, they're all growing weeds again, and yeah, everything's filling up with weeds again. So we've just got to keep an eye on that. But I'm even contemplating entering the best allotment on site this year, because my allotment is looking fantastic. I'm blowing my own trumpet here, but it's the best it's ever looked in years. And when I look around at other people's plots, yeah, mine definitely stands out from the rest. I've certainly put a lot of time and effort into doing this and to making it the best it can look. But yeah, hopefully it will look good, and hopefully we will have a fantastic crop this year. That's the only thing I'm wanting. I'm just wanting a good crop from all this, because I have put a lot of time and effort in to my allotment and a lot of man hours, and spent a lot of money, to be honest, this year. I've obviously bought all my perennial plants, what I've recently planted, my hebes, my fuchsias, my lavender, and then obviously I've purchased all my new fruit this year. I've got so much new fruit on my plot, it's unbelievable this year. We've obviously got my mulberry bush, we've got our red kiwis, we've got our green kiwis, we've got our grapevine, we've got our new plum trees, we've got our red gooseberries, we've got our new blueberry plants, we've got, yeah, the list goes on, and it's going on a long list, but a lot of it is done now, and I don't know what I'll be buying next year, because I've purchased lots of stuff this year. Hopefully I won't have to buy anything next year, but knowing me, I probably will do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the challenges what lay ahead for this year, and if we can keep on top of it, I'm hoping that the crop from my allotment will be good, and we will get the results that we're wanting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm writing my list of all my jobs what need doing. Obviously, if you're working, you usually write a list of gardening jobs on a Friday night ready for the weekend, but I'll be writing my gardening lists for this week today and getting them done. So if you stay tuned for tomorrow's episode, you'll find out all my jobs what need doing tomorrow. So if you are a new listener to this podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button, make sure you click that follow button, and you will get notified when brand new podcasts come up. And if you do enjoy it, feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. If you're listening on Spotify, you can just click that share button and it will directly share it to Instagram. And don't forget to tag me in it as well if you do share stuff as well. I always do love to see it. And if you want to send me a message, feel free to send me a message. It's always great to hear from the listeners as well. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. Thank you for listening to today's Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do click that subscribe button, and feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. All you have to do if you're listening on Spotify is click the share button, and you can share it straight to your Instagram story for all your followers to listen to, and help build my listeners up as well and get more people listening to it. Feel free to check out all my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. Go check it out. Check out my dancing. Gardening with Ben. And check out the link as well in the description of this podcast, where you can check out my gardening t-shirt shop, where I sell funny t-shirts with all different funny logos and designs on. And feel free to support me by purchasing one, and all the money obviously goes back into my allotment, where I can share more gardening tips with you all. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcast.